I can see the number of people in class, but I can't see who's here. So I'd love to know who's here if you're able to chat in. Okay, so today's class theme is working smarter, not harder. So if you're wanting to do a yoga practice that helps to enhance your wellness, first and foremost, and to reduce inflammation and pain in the body, research has shown us that the more mindful, meditative, and relaxing elements of a yoga practice are what have the biggest impact on cooling down inflammation in the body and reducing pain. So sometimes less is actually more. Going further, if you are looking to lose weight, a gentle, mindful yoga practice helps to shift the cortisol levels. Cortisol is a stress hormone. So if you are under stress, cortisol is going to tell your body to hold on to that weight because you're under stress and you never know when you're going to need those fat reserves. So a gentle, mindful yoga practice releasing stress and tension actually can go further in shifting your hormones so that you can lose weight if you are interested in losing weight. So sometimes, again, less is more in our yoga practice. I have a Rumi quote for you today. Life is a balance of holding on and letting go. So through our physical yoga practice today, we're going to play with this balance of moving our bodies into positions, aligning our bones, using our muscle energy to create the structure of the pose, and then releasing, relaxing certain areas of the body to let go of tension and let the energy flow. So life is a balance of holding on and letting go. We're going to do this practice on the floor today. If you are not able to get down on the floor, go ahead and try the practice on your bed. So I'm going to make my way back here to the floor. Take my class notes with me. Hello, Cynthia. Good morning. Having trouble with volumes. Oh, volume. Okay, so if you're having trouble with volume, there is a volume at the bottom of the screen where you're actually seeing the video. And then you've got your computer volume as well. So check those. I'm going to take my water with me. Hey, Kitty! Good morning, good morning. We are transitioning to the floor. Take your block, take your strap, and your knee pad. I have a chair for at the end of the class. We're gonna sit up again, so if it's not comfortable for you to sit on the floor, you can sit on a chair. Stretching out. Take your time as you transition to the floor. Rolling the spine down one vertebra at a time. Splash down. Okay, we made it. Take a moment here to tune into your breath. And Todd, if anybody else is having any technical issues that you think you might be able to offer guidance through the chat, pretty please and thank you. All right, so here we are on the floor. Soften and release your shoulders. Soften and release your neck. Soften and release the hips and glutes. And bring one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart center. Close your eyes and tune into the breath. Feel the rise and fall of your heart and your belly with the breath. Scan the body from head to toe and just notice if there are any areas that feel tight or tense or painful. We're doing this just to become mindful, not to judge or lament. We're just tuning into where our bodies are at this time, so that we can create a practice that honors what is being communicated to us. We'll bring in a relaxing breathing pattern now, pulling the breath slowly into the count of 3, and then work to extend the exhale just a little longer, maybe to 5. If you have breathing issues or asthma, you may want to only extend that exhale to 4. But the main work here is slowing the breath. Now, as you exhale, soften and release your neck and shoulders. Inhale, expanding. Exhale, soften and release your hips, your glutes, and low back. One more round of breath here. And now we're going to bring our arches together. You let your hands come to your sides, flexing your feet and hug the legs into one another. Flex the feet, squeeze the legs into one another. Feel that muscle energy building in the legs. Hold on to that muscle energy. Draw the lower belly in. Pull that belly button in. Squeeze the legs in. Pull the belly in. One more round of breath here. Even as you're holding this muscle energy, let the breath flow. And then on your next exhale, soften and release. Let all that muscle energy that you created in the lower body, let it go. Release, relax. Enjoy the breath. Breathing into the count of 3. And see if you can extend that exhale just a little bit longer, softening and releasing with the exhale. All right. And then once again, arches together, ankles together, feet are flexed. Big breath into the belly. Exhale, pull the belly in, draw that belly in, and then we're going to bend the right knee. See if you can reach your right knee. If you are unable to reach your right knee, you can use your strap. So place the strap on the front of the knee and take a hold of either side and draw it in. Ease into it. Feet are flexed. Muscle energy is working in that lower body. Pull the belly in and then ever so gently hug that knee toward you. Now we're going to hold on to the pose here. Keep that muscle energy working in the legs. Turn your awareness to the right hip. Try to soften and release the tension in the right hip. Let it go. We're going to continue to work the muscle energy in the legs, but soften and release the right hip. Inhaling to the count of 3. And as you exhale, try to soften and release that right hip as you extend the exhale. Good. One more round of breath here. And then on your next exhale, gently release the foot and stretch that leg out. Take a moment to notice any difference in the way the right leg feels compared to the left. One round of breath here. Inhale, expanding to the count of 3. Exhale, soften, release, let go. And then we'll go to the other side. Arches together, ankles together, feet are flexed. Big breath into the belly. Exhale, draw the belly in and bend that left knee. Again, if you can't get a hold of your knee from here, use a strap. Gently squeeze the knee towards the chest, but don't let your legs go to sleep. Right foot is flexed. Muscle energy in that right leg. Left foot is flexed as well. Gently hug that thigh in. And then once you've gotten into the position of the pose, turn the focus to the left hip and glutes. Inhale, expand with breath. And then as you exhale, think about softening, releasing, and letting go of the tension in the hip and in the glutes as well. Keep that breath rolling through. Inhale to 3. Extend your exhale to 5. So when you extend your exhale longer than your inhale, it tells your body and your brain that you can release, you can let go, you're safe. So we can disconnect from those stress hormones. All right, one more round of breath here. And then on your next exhale, release the left foot to the floor and let all that muscle energy you created just release, let go. Enjoy the relaxing breathing pattern into the count of 3. And exhale to the count of 5. All right. Interlace your fingers behind your head if you are able to. If you are not able to get your hands behind your head, you can bring your arms out like cactus arms so that your elbows are bent and the back of the hand is on the floor. So interlaced behind, my mic is creeping up into my neck. Okay, interlace behind, and then allow your elbows to open wide. Now, arches together, ankles together, feet are flexed. Draw the belly in, lift your chin slightly, and ever so gently press the head into the hands. Belly is working and drawing in, feet are flexed, legs hugging into one another. Add just a little bit of muscle energy with the head pressing into the floor. If your arms are in cactus position, that's okay. Same idea. Gently lift the chin and press the head back into the floor. It's just a gentle lift of the chin to bring a little curve in the neck. So feel that muscle energy working in the neck. Muscle energy working in the torso as you draw the belly in, hug the legs in, flex the feet. Now, if you want to go just a step further, root your elbows into the floor as well. Root the elbows into the floor, gently press the head into the floor. Remember, if you have pain in a pose, that's your body telling you too much. Back off on the pose and just deepen the breath. One more round of breath here. And with your exhale, soften, release, let go. Bring your arms down alongside you. Let all that muscle energy go. Tune into the breath. Soften and release. One more round of breath here. And then big breath into the belly. Exhale, draw your belly in as you slide your feet to the floor and bring your knees up. We're going to bring the hands to the knees. Once again, if you're not able to reach your knees comfortably, you could try doing this with a strap. Bring the strap to the shins and work from here. All right, so if you have your hands on your knees, right hand on the right knee, left hand on the left, we're going to rock the tailbone into the floor and slightly arch your back. Big breath in. Exhale, draw the belly in and squeeze the thighs in together. Squeeze, 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 push the breath out. Inhale, release. Rock the tailbone down, back arches slightly, big breath in. Exhale, squeeze, squeeze, pull the belly in. Squeeze the thighs into the belly. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull the belly in, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the thighs in. And inhale, release. One more time. Exhale, pull the belly in and hold. Draw the belly in. Now, even as you're doing this work of holding on to the thighs, see if you can soften and release the muscles in your neck and shoulders. Ha ha! This is next level body awareness stuff. So if you can't quite get it now, that's okay. It comes with practice. So even though you're holding the knees and squeezing them towards you, try to soften and release the neck. You might even just really gently turn the head side to side to connect with those muscles mentally. Okay. And then soften and release the tops of the shoulders as well. One more round of breath here. And then release. Stretch your legs out. All right, we're going to go for a reclined twist. Take a moment to soften and release first. Let go of all of the muscle energy. Take a moment to enjoy that relaxing breath. Softening and releasing before we move into the next pose. And here we go. We're going to bend the right leg at the knee. Place the right foot next to the left knee. Bring your arms out like a T. Big breath into the belly. Exhale, draw your belly in and feel your back flatten into the floor as you reach the left hand over. You can lift that right knee up now. We're going to keep our right shoulder down on the floor as we pull the knee over across the body to the left. So right shoulder stays down as you gently twist. Keep the belly engaged. Once you get into the form of the pose, so that right knee is traveling over to the left side, soften and release the right hip, glutes, and lower back. Right shoulder stays on the floor. Keep the relaxing breath moving through. Now, it doesn't matter how far you bring that knee over, okay? We're just looking for a twist, but keep the right shoulder on the floor. I'm able to go pretty far, but I've been at this a while. So don't feel like you have to bring the knee over this far. Just move into the pose until you find a good twist. Then soften and release the right hip and glutes and low back. One more round of breath here. And then big breath into the belly. Exhale, pull the belly in. Gently roll back onto your back. Switch sides. Right leg straight. Big breath in. Exhale, pull the belly in to lift that left knee. Left foot is on the floor inside of the right knee. Arms come out like a T. Big breath into the belly. Exhale, pull the belly in as you reach that right hand over. You can lift that knee so you can reach it and then twist. Remember, left shoulder stays down on the floor. Come into a twist. It does not matter how far you get that knee over. We just want to feel the twist in the back, in the belly. Soften and release the left hip, glutes, and low back even as you hold on to the knee. You hold on to the pose. Breathing into the count of 3. Extend your exhale. Now, with every exhale, see if you can soften and release the left hip and glutes a little bit more. One more round of breath here. And then to come out of the pose, big breath into the belly. Exhale, draw the belly in, release the knee. Come to both knees bent, feet are on the floor. Okay, so now we're gonna build onto the softening and releasing and use that as the gateway to deepen the work of a pose safely. We soften and release before we go deeper into the pose. All right, so let's play with this. Reclined pigeon pose. So here I am with my feet, maybe like a foot from my sits bones. Big breath into the belly. Exhale, draw the belly in, lift the right foot off the floor and bring the right ankle just past or just above the left knee. So right ankle just above the left knee. Take a moment here, push the thigh away from you, soften and release the front of that hip. We're moving into reclined pigeon pose. All right, now you may need to grab your strap. Big breath into the belly. Exhale, draw the belly and lift that left foot off the floor if you are able to. If you are not able to do this, then work the pose from here. Okay, big breath in. Exhale, I'm going to pull that left foot up and then I'm going to bring my strap to the outside of the front of the left knee. So you can work with the strap here, or you can use your hands if you're able to get your hands there. Okay, so strap if you need just a little bit more length. Otherwise, you can bring your hands to the front or the back. Some people prefer to do the back of the thigh because their knees may be a little bit sensitive and that pressure is uncomfortable for their knees. So find your position. And once you come into that position, you want to tune into the right hip and glutes now. We're going to flex the feet. Muscle energy working in the lower legs. Push out through the mound of the big toe. Remember we talked about the 4 corners of the feet in the previous class. Mound of the big toe, and then flare the pinky toe. Same thing on the left foot. Muscle energy working in the lower legs. Feel the tension building in the right hip and glutes. All right, so here is how we deepen the pose safely. As you inhale, expand, and as you exhale, think about softening and releasing the tension in that right hip and glutes. So stick with it through a few breaths. See if you can get that feeling of tension to soften, release on the right side. If you cannot get any release there, then you may be going a little too deep on the pose. So let that knee go a little further away from you and see if you can get the soften and release with the exhale there. All right, so if you do feel like you've gotten a little bit of that tension on the right hip and glute to release, now you have created space to safely deepen the pose. We don't want to just push and build tension on tension. No, no, no. We want to soften and release, create space, and then deepen the pose from there. Okay, so if you've got a little bit of space and you've got some room to deepen the pose, try this. Press your right shin gently into the left thigh. Feel that tension build again in the right hip and glutes. Same thing. So we're going to add a little bit more work of muscle energy, then soften and release the right hip and glutes with the exhale. If you did get a little bit of release, then you've created space to go deeper. If not, just stay where you are and continue to work the breath. If you want to go deeper still, keep the pressure of the shin pressing into the thigh. Now, draw that knee just a tiny bit closer. Oh yeah, there it is. Definitely getting a little more work. Same thing again. Soften and release that right hip and glute with the exhale. Woo! Okay, I don't know about you, but my right hip really needed this today. One more round of breath here. And then to come out of the pose safely, big breath into the belly. Exhale, engage your core. Pull your core in as you lower the feet to the floor. Take your right foot away and then just go ahead and have a moment of release and relax here. It might feel good to just rock your knees back and forth, soften and release those hips and glutes. Release the feet all the way to the floor. Close your eyes and turn your focus to the breath, pulling the breath into the count of 3, expanding. Exhale to the count of 5, soften and release. Notice the difference in the way your right hip and glutes and leg feel compared to your left. So personally, my right side feels like it's about 2 inches longer than my left. It also feels better, freer, like I can actually feel the entire leg. My mind is registering a feeling of expansiveness and energy flow through my right leg. All right, so let's even things out. Big breath into the belly. Exhale, pull the belly in as you bring the knees back up and the soles of the feet on the floor. Left foot comes off the floor, engage the core first. Big breath in. Exhale, pull the belly in and bring that left ankle just past the right thigh bone, and we're just below the knee. Again, if you need to work the pose from here, this may be enough for you today. That's great. Meet your body where you are. If you're ready to go deeper, big breath in. Exhale, squeeze the belly in as you lift that right foot off the floor. Use your strap if you need to on the back of the thigh or on the front of the knee. I'm going to go ahead and use my hands, and then I'm going to flex both feet. Muscle energy in the legs, push out through the mound of the big toe, flare the pinky toe. Once you've gotten into the form of the pose, close your eyes, tune into the breath. Bring your awareness to the left hip and glutes. You may find that the experience of this pose is a completely different thing from your right side to your left side. It certainly is for me. But it's not unusual that we have, one side of the body is just holding more tension than the other. It's okay. So just meet yourself where you are and know that this experience of deepening the pose on this side may be very different than the last thing we just did. Okay, so we're softening and releasing the left hip and glutes. If you've got some room, if you got some of that tension to release there, try this. Push the left shin into the right thigh. Feel that muscle energy building in the left hip and glutes. Soften and release with the breath. All right, so if you got some of that tension to release on the left side, you've created space to go deeper. Gently press the shin in. Feel that tension building. Keep the work of the poles. You're holding that right leg. Soften and release the left hip and glutes with the exhale. Inhale, expanding. Exhale, you can even imagine sending the breath to that left hip and glutes, softening, releasing. Okay, if you got a little room to work and you want to go deeper, gently pull that right thigh just a little bit further in. Deepen the work of the pose. Hold here. And then as you exhale, soften and release the left hip and glutes. One more round of breath in this position. And then big breath into the belly. Exhale, pull the belly in so you can release the legs to the floor safely. Stretch out. Arms at your side. Close your eyes. And bring that relaxing breathing pattern in to the count of 3. Extend your exhale slightly longer as you soften and release into the floor. One more round of breath here. And then we're going to transition to hands and knees. So as we come off the floor, we want to be super mindful of our backs and really take our time with it. So roll to your right side and pause. Place the left hand on the floor in front of your heart. Big breath into the belly and lengthen the spine from the sits bones through the crown. Exhale, pull the belly in and come on up to seated. And then we're going to come to the neutral tabletop position. Have your knee pad handy. I'm going to go ahead and place my knee pad. You may not need a knee pad right now, but you're definitely going to want one for one knee after this pose. So we're going to spread the fingers wide. The wrists are under the shoulders, directly under the shoulders, and the wrists are shoulder width apart. So if I drew a line from the center of my shoulder, it would line up with the center of my wrist. So my wrists are under, and then the knees are under the hips. Nice long spine. Root the toes into the floor. Root the fingers into the floor. Muscle energy working in the hands. Turn the inner elbows into one another. So, a lot of us that are hypermobile we hyperextend and that inner elbow points forward. We don't want to do that. Too much stress on the joint. So you can bend your elbows slightly, add just a tiny bit of a bow, and that will help you bring those inner elbows facing inward. We're going to do cat and cow. Rocking the spine. If you have neck issues, keep your neck nice and straight for this. Inhale, release the belly down to the floor. Now muscle energy is working in the arms. Pressing the hands into the floor, hug the biceps into one another, release your belly down like an old sway back cow. Cow pose. Soften the belly. Big breath in. Exhale. Now squeeze the belly in, tip the tailbone down, and arch your back like a Halloween cat. We're working the body, muscle energy here. Pull that belly up and in. Hold the position, but keep the breath flowing. And then inhale, release, soften the belly. Let the tension go in the back. Rock the tailbone up, sway the back, old sway back cow, but keep the arms working. One more time. And this is inhale. Exhale, squeeze, squeeze, pull the belly in, tip the tailbone down, arch the back, push the floor away from you. One more round of breath here. And then come to the neutral tabletop position. All right, we're going to come into archer pose now. So you're definitely going to want a knee pad if you are on a hard floor. If you're on padded carpet, then you might be okay. Grab your block for stability. So you can help yourself stay upright if your balance is a little bit rough with this block. Bring the knee pad to your right knee. Pad the knee, and then we're going to swing the left knee out and around. So left knee is bent and left knee is directly over the ankle. Now check the right hip. Right hip is directly over the knee. So we've got a 90-degree angle here, and then the knee is directly below the hip. Again, if you need a little help with balance, you've got your block here. And then we're going to allow the left arm to dangle, right hand is on the block. Inhale, big breath into the belly. Now as you exhale, you can bring your hands to that front thigh. Draw the belly up and in. Feel that work of stabilization by pulling the belly in and rooting down through the right knee, rooting down through the four corners of that front foot. If you don't know what I mean about the four corners of the foot, then you can go back and watch the previous video. All right, so find your balance here. Holding this position may be enough for you today. If you have pain in your hip, then you're good. You probably just want to back off on this pose and sit with breath and meditation. So you can come to sitting in your chair and take a moment to just close your eyes and tune into the in to 3, out to 5 breath. Okay, if you are here and you're feeling strong, we're going to move into archer pose. Keep the work of the belly pulling in, rooting down through the legs. Inhale, bring your arms facing forward. See if you can hold your balance, palms facing one another. Deepen the breath here. And then again on the inhale, Inhale, outer edges of your collarbones. Slightly lift the chin. Exhale, bring the head back over the body. Bring the armpits back and then draw the shoulder blades down the back. Gentle fists. Keep the belly pulled in. Then we're going to come into our archer position by very slowly drawing the left elbow back. Keep that left elbow lifted as you draw it back and you're adding a twist. Right arm moves forward, holding your bow. Left arm moves back. If you can keep your balance, check that left elbow. Try to keep it lifted as much as you can, but bring the shoulder blades down the back. All right, so we got some serious muscle energy working in the lower body. Soften and release the tops of your shoulders. Soften and release the neck. Try to let go of that tension at the neck and shoulders. One more round of breath here. And then release your arrow, arms forward, bring the arms down. Come out of the pose slowly. You've got your block for stability as you switch sides. You might want to take a moment to just shake out your hips, soften and release, celebrate doing that pose. I haven't done that pose in a very long time, so it was a very different experience for me today. Woo! All right, we did it. Now we're going to come to the right leg bent. Right knee over the ankle. Okay, so we get that 90-degree angle. Now, left knee is under. This is not a lunge. Okay? Left knee is directly under the hip. All right, you've got your block here to help you find your stability as you root down through the feet, root down through the legs, draw the belly in, and then you can come to finding your balance with your hands interlaced on that right thigh. If you have found your balance here and you want to go deeper, keep that belly pulling in, root down through the low body. Inhale the arms straight out. Palms facing one another. Take a moment here, breathing. And then gentle fists. Big breath in. Exhale, keep that belly squeezing in, root down through the lower body as you draw your bowstring back. Keep that right elbow lifted. Muscle energy really working to stabilize your hips, your lower body. Soften and release the shoulders down the back. Soften and release the neck. One more round of breath here. And then release your arrow, arms forward. Bring the arms down. You've got your block to help you come on down. Woohoo! We did it. We did it. Archer pose. Shavasana. Congrats. Come on down to the floor, stretch out, or if you would prefer to do your Shavasana in the chair, go ahead. I've got little bits of Christmas tree all over that's the way of it. Isn't that just the way this time of year? Okay, so congrats. That was not easy. That was definitely a next level pose. So give yourself a pat on the back. We're deepening our practice incrementally, slowly, safely. Shavasana, I'm going to play the bowls while you guys stretch out on the floor, release, relax. Or if you want to sit in a chair, bring your back all the way to the back of the chair so you can just soften and let go into the support of the chair. Close your eyes. Tune into the breath. Pulling the breath into the count of 3, expanding. Soften and release with the exhale. Extend your exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. Soften and release your neck and shoulders. Soften and release your hips, your glutes, your low back. Tune into your heart center. As you soften and release, feel the expansion of the prana, the chi, the energy flowing through your heart center. With every exhale, soften, release, let go a little more. Now bring a little movement back into the body. Maybe wiggle your fingers and toes. Gently turn your head side to side. Deepen your breath. If you're laying on the floor, roll to your right side. Place your left hand on the floor in front of your heart. Lengthen from your sits bones through the crown of your head. Then take a big breath in as you push yourself up to seated. You can come to sitting in a chair if that is more comfortable for you. Continuing to close the eyes, once again, scan the body from head to toe. Feel the difference in your body and your breath that you created through your mindful, gentle yoga practice today. We'll close chanting Om, Ah, O, We'll do that 3 times. Soften the throat and feel the vibrations of the sound moving through the body. Ah, O, We'll do that 3 times. Allow the breath to flow in. Om. Om. Bringing your hands to prayer position at the heart, we bow in celebration of the divine spark in every heart. Namaste. All right, thank you so much for being here and sharing this moment in time. If you enjoyed today's practice and you would like to support this content with a donation, there's a link in the description box below the video that takes you to my Ko-fi where you can donate there. Thank you very much. So if you're feeling relaxed and you want to kind of stay quiet and move forward with your day, bye-bye. I'll see you later. I'm going to step up to the camera now in case somebody wants to be social and pop in and say hello. Also, if anyone has any questions about today's practice, please feel free to chat in.